Okay, so here's my most recent demonstration that I've added to my repertoire. You take a cylinder of warm water, you get to a local grocery store or place that sells dry ice. Dry ice, as we know, is frozen carbon dioxide. It freezes at about 110 degrees below zero, so that's why you always have to handle it with gloves, or I prefer tongs. And you can drop that right into the water. As you see, what happens with this particular reaction is that it's called sublimation. You have a solid, which is a dry ice, that when it hits the water, instead of melting and becoming a puddle of water like regular ice does, the sublimation means that it goes right from the solid form into the gas form. As you can see here, and this is carbon dioxide. The frozen carbon dioxide is reacting with the water, and the vapor, which looks like smoke, comes out. This is a great Halloween thing as well, and you can just play with it as long as the ice is in there. And the hotter the water, the better, because then it breaks down a lot quicker. So that's a real fun thing. What I like to do here, and this is not an original idea, I steal everything I can off the internet, but one thing that the kids really enjoy, you take a little piece of cloth that has dish soap on it, about a half and half mixture, and you put it there. You soak it in a little container. You have a bigger strip, and you can actually do this with a much larger bowl, and it looks really neat as well. So as you see that as that reaction is taking place, carbon dioxide is released. You should also do this in a well-ventilated area, by the way. So you take that, you spread that right across the rim, and here you see fun with bubbles. As the carbon dioxide is released, it actually is engulfed, encapsulated within that bubble, and then when it does burst, if you're patient, it'll burst, and you'll see the cavalcade here. It's pretty cool. Let me tell you, the kids really enjoy that. So as you see that, and then the good thing about that is that you can just keep taking your little cloth, rubbing it right across there. Well, a little too firm that time. It's really cool. It's really iridescent. And if you want to take this to another level, then you can actually put glow sticks within it. Actually, during Halloween, it's really good. I recommend using plastic or acrylic cylinders. It should pop here any minute. As you see, it's getting heavier, and it falls off to the side, and you have that cavalcade, which is really cool. So let's try this one more time. Oh, again, a little too hard at the end. Let me try another piece of the cloth. Yesterday I bought 10 pounds of dry ice, kept it in a cooler, and as enclosed as I possibly could. It says that you shouldn't keep it in an airtight container because it actually can blow up, so don't store it inside your fridge. It's been 85 degrees, 90 degrees almost. Whoa, nice, I love this. Kids love it too. And it actually stayed overnight without much loss of the ice itself. Somebody had asked what would happen if you had food coloring into it. I think that would be a neat experiment. You just want to make sure that you don't end up like staining anything. So I'd try it somewhere where it's not going to matter to you, rather than like, you know, your home kitchen, or I'd say do it at work so it doesn't matter as much. And it'll continue to churn and churn and churn and churn like this, which is really cool. Now I'm going to show you one more step, which is really good. We ended up ending our activity today with this next step, and then the kids were able to go and wash their hands. And that is really cool. Actually, they asked if you could touch it or whatever. I tried to, and what happens when you do touch it, pow, it just cavalcades. Now, because this one might end up being a little messy, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. You take some dish soap, you drop a couple drops of dish soap in there, and as you'll see, it'll change in the way that it reacts. Whoa, here you go. And you see the bubbles just continue to form. You can actually pop them. You can see the smoke coming out of them. The little clouds, the vapor. And what's really cool about this is that you can take your bubbles, and when you compress them, it gets smoky. This is what the kids really loved doing. We were able to do this with 80 kids. We had 2 stations to demonstrate this. We took it. Not only do the kids have fun, but the counselors and the staff that do it are having fun as well. And then you can play around with different things. What I would say is maybe, what will happen if you take your original cloth, and this is new to me as well, take your original cloth to see if maybe you can get some, it bubbles inside of bubbles. So once that is off there, whoa, there you go. Let's try this. Didn't have a whole lot of change there, but as you see the bubbles continue, and again you can continue popping them. You can straighten them off, or you can just swoop them off and allow kids to do that. They love it. And there you go. Great presentation, well received by the kids, and fun to do. All you need is a little dry ice.